So here we are going to discuss about what are the different type of errors comes under statistical hypothesis testing when we make certain decisions. So decision errors, we can say that these are the errors which occur while making decisions. Like how it will occur when we make the decision, we never know if the null hypothesis is true or the alternative hypothesis is true. Okay, so we consider all the possibilities that anything can be true, either null hypothesis is true or the alternative hypothesis is true. So on such basis there are chances of making two types of errors. Type 1, we say that this error is of type 1 error if we reject the null hypothesis when it is true. Means H naught is true, but we made a decision that reject H naught. Means whatever is the statement under consideration, it was true, but due to the calculations and the evidences and the given data, we rejected the null hypothesis. So such errors are called type 1 error. Like we are making a mistake by taking decision in favor of H naught. It means we are accepting alternative hypothesis when H naught is true. It means we are accepting alternative hypothesis HA which is false. So we are making a wrong decision. Okay. So we have these errors only when we make wrong decisions. Okay. So this is the type 1 error. The type 2 error. This error is failing to reject H naught when it is false. Means here H naught is false, means this statement is not true, still we accept H naught. Okay, so we are making mistake by taking decision in favor of HA. Okay, we are accepting H naught when HA is true. So we can put this thing in the tabulated form. Suppose we make the decision. First decision is accept H naught. Second is either reject H naught. So if we are accepting H naught and H naught is true, then this is the right decision. On the other hand, if we are making a decision that H naught is true, we are accepting H naught but H1 is true. So this is called type 1 error. Similarly, if we are rejecting HA means HA is true. Rejecting H naught means HA is true. So it means selecting HA true is the right decision, whereas if we reject H naught, okay, so it will give you type 2 error. So examples. If we consider example, I hope you remember about the old story. There is a shepherd who is a very naughty boy. He went to the hills he carries the sheep there, and he always shouting to the villagers that lion is coming, wolf is coming, please come and protect me and protect the sheep. So it's an example of that. Suppose the null hypothesis H naught is that wolf is not present. So what will be the type 1 error here? Type 1 error is, see, type 1 error stands for accepting H naught when alternative hypothesis is true. So if H naught is this, what will be HA? Wolf is present. That is the negation of it. So type 1 error is accepting HA is true. So shepherd thinks wolf is present, which is the alternative hypothesis, when there is no wolf. When actually there is no wolf. Okay, so this is called the type 1 error. And type 2 error is accepting H naught when HA is true. So we say that we assume that we believe that the wolf is not present when it is actually present. So what will happen in this case? Shepherd thinks that wolf is not present and he do nothing. Then when there is actually a wolf present there. So how does these two types of error affect? So we can generalize it as like cost assessment. So here the cost will be actual cost plus the shepherd credibility. This is the cost associated with scrambling the town's wall to kill the non-existing wolf. Because when he is crying that wolf is there, so all the people will gather and then they will just wasting their time. Whereas when type 2 error occurs, what will happen when wolf is actually there and nobody is there to protect them? What will happen? What are the losses the person will face? Replacement cost for the sheep eaten by the wolf. Definitely, if wolf is there, wolf will eat the sheep. And replacement cost of hiring a new shepherd because he is not doing his work properly. So this is type 1 and type 2 error for this hypothesis. So if we assume that H naught, the null hypothesis, as person is not guilty of the crime, then what will be alternative hypothesis? Person is guilty of the crime. Okay. Now when we say that type 1 error, it means we are accepting H naught when HA is true. So person is judged as guilty when the person actually did not commit the crime. The person got the punishment when actually he was innocent. So what is the drawback of it? This is the wrong decision. So what is the drawback of it? Social cost of sending an innocent person to the prison and denying them their personal freedoms, which in our society is considered to be almost unbearable cost. So there will be like no cost compensation will ever able to fulfill this loss. Now type 2 error is person is judged not guilty when they actually did commit the crime. So it means the person is guilty but it was set free because of the evidences, lacking of the evidences. So what is the cost assessment for that? Risk of letting a guilty criminal roam to the streets and committing future crimes. So these are the two types of errors corresponding to this scenario. Another example, suppose we assume that the null hypothesis H naught is medicine A cures disease B. Then what will be alternative hypothesis? Medicine A does not cure disease B. So what will be the type 1 error? H naught is true but we reject it. So it means medicine A is having the ability to cure disease B but we are rejecting it as a false. So what are its consequences? Loss of opportunity of cost for rejecting an effective drug that could be able to cure the disease B. Okay. On the other hand, type 2 error means H naught is false but we are accepting it. So it means medicine A actually does not cure the disease but it is accepted as true. We are assuming that okay, no, it can cure the disease. So what are its consequences? Unexpected side effects which may include death for using a drug which is not effective. So these are type 1 and type 2 error based on the different cases.